I don't really see it as a sacrifice or giving things up. I think it's about contributing to one's community and neighborhood and thinking about my family's long legacy in Chinatown. I'm really happy about the decision that I made. At the time, it was very difficult. You know, you have all of these different options presented in front of you. After 8 months of doing this, I feel really happy and content. I am a 5th generation owner of W.O.W, which is a 92-year-old business this year. Started with my great-great-grandfather in 1890, and then we moved to this location in 1925. After I graduated, I lived and worked abroad in Thailand and Beijing, Hangzhou. So I first decided to come back to New York out of my desire to apply to graduate school for international development. My family was also going through the decision making about this space and the building, and they had come to the decision that they wanted to sell. In 2015, in the winter, in December, I met a woman named Diane Wong, and she's currently a doctoral candidate at Cornell University, writing her dissertation on the gentrification of Chinatowns in the US, and wanted to interview both me and my dad.
You know, when I first met Mei, they were thinking about selling the building, the property, and I wasn't really sure what the ultimate goal would be or what the outcome would be, but I think businesses and landlords who are intentional in building community and preserving Chinatown as a place for new and old immigrants, I think that, you know, it's really important that we sort of have a more nuanced conversation. What about the health center?
She offered to take me on her interviews with her with different community stakeholders. So through that process of listening to other people's stories, reintegrating myself into the neighborhood, and also making sense of my family's situation in a larger context really made me realize that this situation doesn't live in a vacuum and that it will affect other people on our block on Mott Street. It will affect other people in our community.
We have some ice cream shops, we have a bike shop, we have an art gallery, which is great. That's unheard of, right?
You just have to adapt in Chinatown because it changes so fast now, you know? If you don't adapt, it's like you just can't really survive here.
So the W.O.W Project was inspired by these interviews that I mentioned before. We realized that there was a trend in 2nd, 3rd generation Chinese American business owners opening up new businesses, opening up non-traditional Chinatown businesses. We wanted to put them all on a panel and have a discussion about how they see these changes. A lot of my challenges stem from how to revitalize a 92-year-old business. What does that look like? And I think that the W.O.W Project really presents a unique way of doing that. For us, we're a small family business that stayed in the same location. We want to stay here. We want to continually sell one product, and that's porcelain ware. It's one of our oldest and staple ones to this store specifically, since my grandma started this in the 60s. So you can tell like this is hand painted, it's like inside and outside of the bowl. I want to honor the legacy of my grandmother and all the hard work that she's put into this space. Everything that you see here is handpicked by her. Pieces, this porcelain ware, really holds a lot of rich history and culture. There's stories that come with these pieces, of these patterns, of these designs. We can learn from them, and I think that there's a lot of continuity there for learning and for what we're doing with the W.O.W Project as well. And coming back here and seeing Chinatown with a different lens, having that experience, this year has been very transformative for me in the way that I can make sense of my Chinese American identity. I'm doing meaningful work that I'm passionate about, and not a lot of people can say that about the work that they do.